All right, welcome back to Snake Cinema Reviews. I'm your host, Prince Elias, and this is Lafayette. And we are reviewing this week Euphoria's special episode 2, dealing with Jules. So, as the first Euphoria special episode review I did, tackling Rue, these are basically in between episodes that are in between season 1 and season 2, and it's pretty much, these episodes are pretty much character studies that dives deeper into why our characters acted the way they acted in season 1 and what potentially could we see in season 2. And they're bottled episodes because it was happening during the pandemic, during COVID, and so, you know, minimum staff, minimum characters, and some recycled old scenes from season 1, repackaged. But just like in the first special episode dealing with Rue, where she was talking to Ali, her sponsor, and I said in my last review how that felt like a therapy session, this episode is literally a therapy session. It pretty much covers Jules talking to her therapist, going over season 1, the past year, and why she did the things she did, why she acted the way she acted, and I pretty much enjoyed it. Great acting. Hunter Schafer, I believe is the actress name. She did a phenomenal job. The actress playing the therapist also phenomenal job. Kind of made me want to call my therapist by the end of this episode. And Sam Levington, the writer, creator, the guy who's this whole story about addiction is loosely based off of, he did a phenomenal job writing this episode. And like I said, these episodes are character studies. It doesn't tell you what season 2 will be about, but it helps you understand what's been going on and why our characters did the things they did in season 1. And I fairly enjoy it. I do personally, for me personally, the first special with Rue and Ali in the diner is my favorite out of the 2. To me, it's the best one, but this one was just as amazing, just as good. And so I wrote a couple of notes down. And like I said, this episode was literally a therapy session. So we get Jules in her therapist's office talking about the events of season 1 and what led her to jump on that train and just leave town, skip town, and leave everything behind, including Rue, and how she felt. And let's see. And I love how it's from her perspective, because in season 1, the entire show is from Rue's perspective, because she's the main character. And so when you see Jules do certain things or act certain ways in different episodes of season 1, you know, it gets kind of frustrating, because I'm like, damn, Jules, like, I'm rooting for you, but you're doing stupid shit. You fucking up not only your life, but Rue's life. But with this episode, you kind of get her reasoning and her understanding of why she did the things she did. And it made me sympathize even more, and makes me want to go back and watch season 1 all over again, now knowing the things I know from this particular episode. So the writing, the writers, the acting, everybody did a phenomenal job, because it makes me want to go back and stream season 1. Just so I can be like, okay, now that I have all the information and everybody's point of views, now I can see from a different lens. You get what I'm saying? And so what we learned is pretty much what we kind of figured out in season 1, that Rue is very impulsive. I mean, not Rue, Jules. Jules is very impulsive. When she gets scared, when she gets angry, when she gets excited, she just do stupid shit and don't think anything through at all. Hence why she jumped on a train and left town, not thinking about any of the consequences, until she's in therapy and going through all this, and now she's like, damn, I fucked up. She also talked about how she considered detransitioning. Now, as a trans person myself, I don't judge anybody who detransition. I know there's been videos on YouTube of countless people either for or against or whatever. And I know a lot of TERFs use that against trans folks. So I don't judge any transgender person who ever considered or did detransition, where they stopped taking hormones, because everybody's reasons for doing what they do to their bodies is their reasons alone, and what they do to their bodies has nothing to do with me. But to hear Jules, you know, consider it, think about it, is very interesting. And the reasons that she gave her therapist was very interesting as well. And I'm not going to go through all that, because I'd rather you guys go watch the episode and see for yourself and hear for yourself. But I really did empathize with her on that. And her battle, her love-hate relationship with her body. And how it relates to the people around her. And you also learn that, which I pretty much got in season 1. Personally, I got that her and Rue were very codependent on each other for various reasons. They both had their demons. They both had their issues, their mental health struggles, Rue's addiction, Jules' family dynamics. Like, I pretty much got through season 1 that they were both very codependent on each other, which what made their relationship and their friendship pretty toxic. But to hear Jules' perspective and how it relates to her relationship with her mother, she pretty much, you know, the person she resented the most, that she had the most anger and hate for, has the exact same situation and demons that the person that she loves the most ends up going through and struggling. So that was a great dynamic, and a lot of people go through that. When I was in my recovery for my mental health and suicide, trigger warnings for those who get triggered by that word. When I was going through recovery and going through group therapy and talking with other people, one of the things that the therapist always stress is that when you're in recovery, whether it's addiction or anything else, mental health or whatever, do not jump in relationships. Do not date. Do not look for nobody, because you will become dependent on that person. You will become a burden on that person, or that person might be a burden to you, and that quickly leads to relapse. So yeah, like I said, this episode was amazing, but just like the last special episode, it was tough, at least for me, to get through, because it was very relatable, it was very real. And you know, if you've never gone through anything, if you never had any addictions of any sort, if you've never gone through or had addictive relatives, whether it's parents, siblings, whatever, or gone through any mental health issues, you might not understand the significance of these 2 bottled special episodes. But man, the conversations run deep. And that's one thing I have to say before I close this review, is that I see a lot of people on Twitter judging and critiquing Euphoria for very surface level things, like who they cast or who they don't cast in the show, or oh my gosh, it's a teen drama show, it's a drama show that's dealing with teens, and oh, it's nothing but sex, party, and drugs, oh, it's bad representation. But those are very surface level things, because if you actually watch the show and every episode, especially these 2 special episodes, you realize that this is a deeper conversation. If you let go of all the surface level shit that you're critiquing the show on, when you go through the deep conversations of addiction, mental health, codependency, all this other stuff, you realize that this show it's not perfect, but it's really saying something. It has something to say. It's not a teen drama just to be teen drama. It's not it's not what some people say romanticizing addiction, no, or romanticizing suicide, no. It's not 13 Reasons Why. It's not that show, not even close. This one really, like, and unless you've been in these situations or know people personally in these situations, you will not see that. You will not understand. All you see is the surface level, kids in high school doing stupid shit, going through stupid shit, drama. But you're not seeing the bigger picture. Like, this is a story based off a cis male ex-drug addict's perspective of his life. And the fact that this cis white male who went through all these things decided to share his life story, but cast a black woman to play his character, and to have the love interest be a trans woman. To me, I have to give kudos to that, because we don't see stuff like that on television, and it's only networks like HBO that will give us great content like that. Like I May Destroy You. Please, I have not reviewed that show. Go watch that show. It's also on HBO Max. I May Destroy You tackles rape culture, and women who've been assaulted or abused, trying to navigate is going through a very tough and very serious situation. That is also a great show with deeper conversations. Some people are like, oh, it's a comedy drama, black women, you know, struggles. But when you take away the surface level things about the show, and you actually listen to the conversations, listen to what they're saying, and see what these writers and these creatives who create these shows are actually trying to tell you, you can learn a lot. And so for those who haven't seen Euphoria or shows like I May Destroy You or any of the Netflix shows, if you haven't seen these shows, I implore you to check them out and not just look at the surface level. Actually listen to the dialogues, because the acting is great. The acting is going to be great. There's no whack acting in either of these shows I'm talking about. But listen to the dialogues and pay attention to the characters and their actions and what they're doing and the reasons why they do what they do. Because this stuff is deep. This stuff is real deep. And you don't get a lot of good TV shows like that nowadays. So, yeah, definitely check it out. I know I've been rambling and I didn't go into much details about this episode, but that's because I want you guys to go and watch it. If you have HBO Max or HBO channel in general, go watch these Euphoria episodes that are in between season 1 and season 2. If you haven't seen Euphoria at all, season 1, go watch that shit, because it's amazing. And don't let the surface level critiques that you see on Twitter or Instagram deter you. Go watch it for yourself and judge the show for yourself. And also check out I May Destroy You. Another great show, a good 10 out of 10. Sorry I didn't review it last year, but I had a lot of stuff to review last year. But I also recommend that as well while you're on HBO. So yeah, this was a great episode, and I can't wait for season 2. I'm ready for season 2. So please give us season 2. And that's it. So that is my review of Euphoria special episode 2, Jules. Let me know if you've watched it. Comment below in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm your host, Prince Elias. This is Lafayette, my cinnamon ball python, and we will check y'all in the next review. Peace.